Hey everybody, welcome back. I saw that one coming. Movie review time.
You're laughing though.
I am. Where basically we geek out about a movie we just saw, and we just saw Power Rangers.
I was gonna sing with you this time.
I know, I don't know what the face was. Weird. Sorry, I was trying to do something different each time. Anyways, we just saw Power Rangers. We ran an errand or two, shot our no spoiler review, and now we're here to give you our all the spoilers review, where we're gonna spoil the crap out of this movie. We're gonna talk about everything. We're gonna talk about post credits, all that kind of stuff. So if you don't want spoilers, there is a link for a no spoiler review in the description below, or something's popping up right about now. You can click on that. Check that out. Come on back whenever you're ready for some spoilers. All right, so you ready?
Yeah.
Well, here we go, guys. Here's your spoiler warning. Spoilers, 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 spoilers. Stop pushing my spoiler tags off the film. That's the next thing, is for us to figure out like a rhythm for that. But anyways, you guys have been warned. You guys are cool. Cool. I don't even know where I want to start. I just know we really enjoyed this movie. Let's recap a little bit of the no spoilers. What you've been saying about it, your thoughts?
I liked it a lot more, better than I thought I would. I'm not saying that I didn't think I wouldn't like it. It's just that I had pretty low expectations.
She thought it'd be okay, and it turned out to be really enjoyable. I thought it was going to be really enjoyable, and it was really enjoyable. It's great kind of summer popcorn. We would absolutely see a sequel in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I did buy a Blue Ranger Billy Pop, because Billy is my spirit animal. Billy stole this movie.
Yeah. I did lean over at one place going like, it's you.
Yeah, and she's kind of right. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised when we weren't in there and I found they had the Trini and they had Billy, and I was like, off. That's a totally different movie entirely. But yeah, man, it's really cool. We can just go through it. Let's just go through it. It actually starts off in a way that surprised me. It starts off with a little bit of action.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is cool. They're gonna give us some suit action right out the gate. Like that's one of the things, like if you watch my Drunken Movie Nights, like on B movies, that's one of the things like Corman and like Asylum, they've learned to get right. Like they give you what you want right away. And then they can pull back a little bit, tell a little story, give you more.
I didn't think that's what you were talking about. Okay.
Oh, but
when you said action, there is a lot of action. The guy who plays the Red Ranger almost kills himself right off. Oh, wait,
well, I'm talking about the very beginning.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, the very beginning.
It's been too long since we've seen the movie.
Yeah, we had to do some running. But point being, Bryan Cranston is an alien, Zordon is an alien, and we're in the...
Who apparently don't wear clothes under their suits.
Yeah, 65 million years ago, they had come to Earth to... keep Rita from finding this piece of crystal that all planets with life have. And but I thought that was kind of cool. We got to see some suit action right off the bat.
Yeah.
And of course, he gives away the things like, oh, hope you find a worthy home someday, and kind of takes out Rita. Although it was a little confusing how he calls down the meteor.
Yeah, he calls down the meteor, which I think may have also been their ship.
Yeah, because I was thinking it was maybe supposed to be the meteor that like wiped out the dinosaurs. I thought that's what they were going for.
Well, I think they were already in the process of that, because if you notice, there was all this ash and volcanic stuff going on already.
Okay, so maybe what they were saying is that Rita was actually, what we think is the meteor was the ship, was like the actual physical meteor, but the damage the meteor caused was actually being caused by Rita, I guess.
And that is a possibility.
That's maybe the interpretation there, but that's still pretty cool. So I was happy that we got to start right off with some cool stuff. Then we get to a really awkward joke now that I think about it. For this, I think that's one thing with this movie is I don't know.
Oh God, that joke.
Yeah, I don't know that it was having trouble figuring out what age its audience actually was.
It's one of those jokes that your small children aren't going to get it.
Hopefully, because it's kind of but until they show it. So basically, they're doing that prank. Well, you guys know if you're watching this, we don't need to tote it, but they're doing the prank with the cow, and there's the whole thing about the other guy's like, oh, I milked. She should be because I milked her, and the guy's like, you mean him? Was there one udder? He's like, yeah. So already it's kind of like, ugh. But then they show it. They pan down on the cow. Yeah, it took 2 hands. That was really funny though. But then there was some really cool camera work though, and when he's getting away and Jason gets in the car and he's driving away, and the camera keeps like doing these 360 pans inside the car through like one shot kind of thing while he's doing the chase, even all the way into him crashing. Like that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty epic and pretty cool. They never really did explain too much about his recklessness, but I guess maybe they're leaving some of that character arc for the future sequels.
I think the insinuation was that he had pulled a series of other pranks probably, and just kind of kept escalating.
Yeah, just tired in his town.
Like
Angel
he's probably
Grove.
like got caught pulling the fire alarm.
Little things like that, yeah.
But as long as it sounded like as long as he was quarterback on the team, he wasn't going to get into too much trouble. But the wreck jacked up his knee.
And when he like crashes into cop cars and things like that, it's kind of extreme.
Yeah.
Extreme. Well, you know, it was a show from the '90s. Maybe they were just trying to do the extreme thing. I don't know. But anyways, then we get into all the Breakfast Club moments, and it is very Breakfast Club. Actually, you thought the trailers felt kind of Breakfast Club. It's more Breakfast Club than that, quite honestly, the way the misfits all kind of meet up. But you kind of, you get introduced to Jason, Billy, and Kimberly, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
And the bully, that's one place we're a little...
Yeah, we didn't have any sort of Vulcan skull action.
They could have very easily given that bully like a little laughy sidekick. He didn't have to do anything. He could have just been by his shoulder laughing at everything, and they could have called him Vulcan Skull, or something. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah.
That seems like an odd omission. There's certain things they didn't do and certain things they did, and they all make sense. But that was one that we're a little head scratchy. Like, oh, come on, guys.
But it's one of the fun moments early on is the bullies picking on
that was
Billy.
great.
And Jason tells him, dude, back off, come over here. And the guy throws a couple punches at him, and he dodges him up, and then smacks him.
That's so funny.
Completely bitch slaps him.
It was so, like, the theater died. We erupted in laughter. Especially when Billy was like, did you just slap him? Yeah.
Kind of weird, huh?
Yeah. Which is great when that comes back at the end. I thought that was really funny. And then even there, Billy has the other great line about, I guess one of those kind of, you had to be there kind of lines. So, I got it. I got it. But that was really, really fun.
Yeah.
And then I thought that's where, when they introduced Zach and Trini, at first I was like, oh, they're kind of giving them the short shrift, or is it shrift? Whatever.
Yeah.
They're shorting them a little bit. But no, they actually ended up getting a lot more story time as we got in there. So I felt they did do a good job developing all four. There's
so much to unpack here, really.
The Rita, the fisherman dad, finding the Rita thing in the ocean. That was pretty creepy, the way she was all shrivelly and stuff. I like that.
I guess because she was able to hold on to her coin, maybe she was able to survive.
And I like that, too, that she was the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a neat twist on Rita. And again, Elizabeth Banks did a really great job of giving us that Rita Repulsa from the old show, but still somehow grounding that and making it very believable.
God, she has so much fun doing
Oh,
that.
absolutely, absolutely. But there are moments that she has that are like just straight out Rita from the show.
I thought it was kind of interesting that she wasn't the same kind of alien as Cranston and the Yellow Ranger that you see in the opening credits.
That's a good point, too, yeah.
Apparently, whatever species she is, she has an affinity for gold. Because it regenerates her.
It creates gold dye.
And she can manipulate it to form things.
And I love that her staff, as she was initially putting it together, she was had a bunch of gold teeth. So that there was this row of gold teeth built into her staff. I thought, oh, that's really unsettling.
It's actually pretty awesome.
I know, that's what I loved about it. So I really regret not buying that Hot Topic Rita pop now. So maybe they'll put out some more. I don't know. But yeah, she was fantastic. And I hate to jump ahead. Well, it doesn't matter if we jump. We do jump around. But I love at the end that, when she gets slapped, they slap her all the way into space, and you kind of see the moon behind her. I was like, yes. Again, everybody in the theater died at that moment, too.
Yeah.
And she got so slapped so hard, she was flying off into space.
Although I find it very interesting that usually when you're, good guys versus bad guys, especially in YA stuff, they don't usually go straight to let's kill the bad guy. And this one, there's no qualms about it. It's like, bad guy, kill it.
Yeah, that's another one of those things. Again, I mean, we're not saying it's a perfect movie. It's a mindless popcorn film. But that is kind of funny that it's like, hey, let's ask these random teenagers that we just met, hey, we need you to kill this lady you know nothing about.
It's sort of like the Wizard of Oz.
We'll go kill her. Yeah, I guess it has a little bit of that. But yeah, because there was a time or two that the group would be like, and then we can kill Rita. And it just hit me. I was like, they really are talking about the murder. Like, there's no, like, we can capture Rita. There's no... It's like, then we'll kill Rita.
Yeah, because normally they give you something to capture them with. Or if you destroy whatever they're powerless and then you throw them away in prison.
Right. And by the end, they were going to do that because he was like, we'll take her to Zordon and let him sort it out, blah, blah, blah. So
that's true.
So that's cool, but it was interesting how nonchalant they were.
And then she launched that last attack, and Jason's like, nope, bam!
Yeah. Did you just slap her?
Yep.
Kind of weird, wasn't it?
No, what kind of weird is making your robot gyrate its hips as a victory dance?
That was awesome. And that's why it's stuff like that is what made this movie so much fun. Like, you could tell the filmmakers, they got it. They knew what they were making. It's Power Rangers. It's got a certain level of silliness to it. I really enjoyed that that fan-made short film where they made it really dark and gritty. Like, that was cool. But,
yeah.
But, I mean, for what Power Rangers is and to really kind of be true to that love people would have from their childhood, it's got to have some fun to it. It's got to have some silliness, and I think they got that just right in here. They really nailed the tone in this film. And the music was great. I don't know if we talked about that here, but I'm going to download that score.
Yeah.
But I loved the humor of it, man. And, of course, we did get the cameos.
Yeah, we got Kimberly and Jason. Tommy, actor's name is Jason, is it?
I think so. I couldn't remember their actors' names, so that's why I just went with characters, but I think so. And it's the two I figured it was, because it's the ones that, since the movie was kind of announced, they had been doing things kind of more publicly than they used to.
I've been hoping for a Bulk and Skull.
That would be cool, and we're still thinking, well, maybe in the sequel we can get something, because those guys seem game for it in real life. But it was nice to see those two. And then, of course, the mid-credit scene, there's no post-credit scene, was, we have a new student in detention. And again, you could tell it was a theater full of fans because everybody about lost their mind when he's like, Tommy Gale. I think it was Gale.
No, it's not Gale.
I don't remember what it was. But anyways,
it's
Tommy, whatever. Tommy, and he's nowhere to be found. And then they pull in on an empty desk and there's like a green jacket there. You're like, oh.
Well, Rita did get separated from her medallion, so somebody probably picked it up.
Yeah. Now, I gotta say, the most shocking thing for me in this movie is that they kill Billy. Kill Bill. And the thing is, they play it so long that I really started, because at first I was like, no, they can't. They wouldn't. They can't. We're like too deep into this movie. There's no time to replace him. What? But then they have him dead for so long that literally my thought process, because they take him back to Zordon, they're like, can you do anything? And I'm like, and he's like, no. And I'm like, that's it. He's been dead too long. He's dead. They actually killed him.
Again, my point is when they first pull him on bar, I was like, surely one of you has some idea of how CPR works.
I don't know. Misfit kids. No. Again, hashtag because Power Rangers. I'll let that go.
Hashtag you all watch television. You know fucking CPR.
Okay, fair enough. This ain't Baywatch. What are you talking about? But anyways, I mean, that worked for me because I'm like, you can't kill like the best freaking character in the movie. But then they did the cool thing, which you kind of knew was how it was going to work out once they started doing it. That, oh, hey, Zordon, you can come back to life now. And then you think he's gonna, but it's like, nope. He gave that power to bring Billy back. And then what's Billy's line when he comes back, which is just great? Was I dead?
And then Kimberly and Trina are like, yes, no.
Yeah, that was great too. Like, at the same time, they both said the opposite answer, so that was just awesome. So I appreciated that, because I thought that was another one of those things that was just dark enough, but still played at the right level of, fun kind of stuff for this. So really enjoyed that. Love the design of we'll get into the Zords in a minute.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because I figure that's going to take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But I love the costumes are pretty cool, man. And I like that their faces could go away when they needed to. So they could see. And I love the way the full Megazord.
Yeah.
It's like a Mama Zord. Wait, no, that doesn't sound cool. It's like a Megazord.
Mama Zord. I like that.
Again, I mean, I usually screenwriters will spread the funny lines around, but I swear Billy had every funny line in this movie.
But going back to the costumes, for some reason, Red Ranger was the only one with an actual weapon.
Yeah.
He got the sword, and I was just like, I'm surprised none of the other guys are like, especially like Zach's like, where'd you get that?
Yeah, I want one of those.
But of course, now I will say about armor is, why do women have to have individual breastplates?
Okay, yeah, that's true generally. And I had that thought, but I think here it actually made sense. Because the armor was formed out of their body and it was form-fitting. I mean, I can make it make sense for that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're right. Logically, you don't need that. I get that whole argument.
Logically,
I'm with that whole...
you don't want that, because if you have like just a one piece, it spreads out impacts more.
Yeah, but this is like, alien tech, like super, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this is one you can get away with that with.
I know.
I mean, I agree 99% of the time on that, what you're saying.
Yeah.
But in this case, it works. And plus, you want to stay kind of true to the original designs and all that.
Well, the original designs were nothing like that.
Well, I mean, they still showed the forms of the ladies and stuff, so... A little bit. Did they? Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yellow Ranger was a dude.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I gotta think on this for a second. So while I do that, why don't you guys watch this commercial? We'll be right back. Sorry, I'm still thinking about female Power Rangers and their chests.
Yellow Ranger was a dude. But touching on that, Trini's backstory. When they're talking around the fire, they're going like, she's basically, my parents don't, I didn't have to worry about getting to know anybody. My parents didn't have to worry about any of my relationships. And Zach's like, boy problems? And she's kind of...
Her boyfriends?
Girl problems? Yeah. And she's like, what? She's very uncommitted. So I'm kind of wondering if she's bi.
Could very well be.
But the thing is, and that would be kind of interesting because, like I said, if you watch the original Power Rangers, when they morphed, the Yellow Ranger was definitely a dude.
Okay.
So I could see that being sort of a interesting callback to that.
A very clever disguised callback. I could see that.
And it's just like, hey, kids fall under all sorts of different places on the spectrum.
Well, the spectrum.
Not that spectrum, the other spectrum.
Yeah. But you just reminded me too of a line I also really loved. That it's kind of cringy, but it's kind of brilliant too. I think it was Alpha 5 when he's talking to Zordon when the kids show up. He's like, yes, there's 5 of them, and they're kids of different colors, or something like that. I was like, that's kind of funny that you are actually pointing that out. You're not, because there's all the diversity in casting, which is fantastic, I think. But I think it can get pushed as an agenda sometimes in some people's minds. So I think it's kind of funny that they addressed it.
Was Trini supposed to be like Latin?
I kind of got like Hawaiian, but that may be because she had a patch that said Hawaii.
Maybe, okay, so...
But she was certainly...
Pacific.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe like Pacific Islands.
Because I couldn't read her.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, where we live, we don't have that much diversity, so it's a little bit harder for us sometimes, but, we try. But still, it's very, very cool. All the characters did a really good job, too. And Cranston, Bryan Cranston, is freaking Bryan Cranston, and he's always awesome. Alpha's pretty cool. I don't know, I like throwing the arms. It's kind of cool.
Alpha 5 was much, much cooler in this movie than he ever was in the TV series.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, he was, actually cool in this one, not just...
Yeah.
Oh, God, all the training pit. Into the pit. Take them to the pit. Into the pit. But
because Alpha could actually fight.
Yeah, he was teaching him. I like the training montage. The training montage. I loved when Trini and Kimberly... when they started bonding in the montage and they have that little moment over the piece of cake or whatever with the fork and they're just doing all that. That was just really cool. And then later you see them fight at training back to back and all that. I thought, oh, that's cool. I dig that. I love what they did with the putties in this.
Yeah.
That because they had a budget, it wasn't just dudes in weird gray rubber suits.
Yeah.
But you'd see them formed of all the rubble and rock, and sometimes they would have street signs in them and stuff. I just thought that was really, really cool.
So, they kind of failed though at saving Angel Grove from total destruction, I think.
Yeah, Angel Grove is kind of screwed. But you know what? There's going to be a lot of construction jobs, so people going to make some money. But you know what else? People, because it wasn't an honest trade. It was something like that. But one of the complaints was how the monster they would be fighting in Angel Grove or whatever, and then suddenly they'd be in the mountains, all rocky,
the desert or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I like how they designed Angel Grove to be right next door to this giant mining kind of rock quarry kind of
gold mine.
Yeah.
Which was awfully convenient for the villain.
Right, but I mean, I thought that was really... Well, you know why? It wasn't convenient, because in the backstory, that's where the all that's because she had Goldar in the prehistoric times, but he had been destroyed.
So I guess he just went back into the ground.
Yeah, right. Because she's basically then later she goes to the mine and pulls all that gold out. So actually, it's very logical.
The gold effects are really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyways, I was just saying I like that they actually put those two locales. They found a clever way to have them be side by side, so it makes sense, you know. And I thought that was a really, really nice touch on the filmmakers' side.
And it was also interesting that they actually let the kids have superpowers without morphing.
Yeah, and that was a fun part of the movie too. Their kind of realization of that.
They're Peter Parker moments, really.
Yeah. Especially when Billy does the jump and he barely makes it, and then he gets up, he's like, I made it, and you just knew he's about to fall.
Yeah.
And he falls, and they're like, did we just kill that kid? He's like, hey guys, you gotta come down here. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And going through the water, and then like the upside down under there and everything. Yeah, there was a lot of little Stranger Things touches the more I'm thinking about it. But that was a lot of fun, dude. That was a lot of fun. The action is really cool, the fighting is cool. The giant Megazord suplexing Goldar. I mean, not only did I get a giant monster fight, I got to watch basically giant robot versus giant monster WWE fight, dude. That was awesome. That was really, really fun. Just what a weird, unexpected. It's not one of those things I would have thought I wanted until I saw it, and I'm like, that is so cool.
Yeah, actually, I just thought, I wonder if they'll bring Lord Zed in for the second movie.
They could. Now, again, I was hoping we would get that in a post-credit, some little tease or something, but no, sadly, no.
Going back to the whole Zord thing, of course, you know, they kept the same lineup as they did in the original Power Rangers, except the Black Ranger Zord, it's a mammoth. I know it's supposed to be a mammoth. Watching it in action, I'm like, what the fuck is that thing?
Yeah.
First of all, I have way too many legs. We going to Myers to pick up some things, and we were going through the toy section. I found the toy version of the Zord, so I could finally see what the hell, because it was always moving too fast to really get a good look at it.
Yeah. And
it's like a mammoth Schleppner. For those of you who don't know who or what Schleppner is, Norse mythology, Odin has an 8-legged horse. This mammoth had 8 legs. I'm like, that and the tusks weren't really as pronounced as they could have been. So, I would, and this brings me to my second nitpick on the Zords.
I don't know what to do. Go ahead. Second nitpick on the Zords. I'm just having fun.
So when Alpha shows them the Zords, he explains that when Zords are formed, they always take on the aspects of the most powerful animals on the planet at that time.
Because Power Rangers.
Okay, so you have the dinosaur, you have the Triceratops, and you have the pterodactyl. For 65 million years ago, that's perfectly fine. Although I'm not entirely sure those all were in the Cretaceous period. I'd have to double check.
The movie said so. I believe the movie.
But I'm willing to lump dinosaurs in as a category, regardless of era. But then you had the mastodon and the saber-toothed tiger, which are Pleistocene, which is completely different. There were no giant mammals back then. So, this is the bad thing about knowing things.
It's better to be dumb, folks, is what she's saying. Just better to be stupid.
When you watch a movie.
But anyways, other than that...
They looked good.
Yeah, they looked fantastic, especially the Tyrannosaurus. Because I kept looking at that, and I just like... I enjoy the Transformers movies, but why can't the Transformers look like that? Because you could do the G1 versions and make them believable in the way those were designed.
Yeah, the Michael Bay Transformers are way too busy for me.
They really are. Even after all this time of getting used to them, it's still a little bit like, oh, I kind of want them to be boxy and clunky.
There's just too much to look at.
Well, that's the thing. He made them too real.
It's sort of like the same story, almost to a certain degree, same problem with the Mutant Turtles.
Yeah, but that's a story for another time.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Even though this movie clearly it homaged Michael Bay. There's a lot of Michael Bay kind of style in there. Well, actually, yeah, there was that too. They specifically did that. Yeah, and I actually.
Wait, was this a Michael Bay movie?
No.
Okay.
No, but it felt in that vein because they had a lot of those golden sunset shots and, you know, a lot of the way the camera moves and stuff were very similar to some of his style. But yeah, that Bumblebee thing. Sadly, I saw where subscribed to all the YouTube channels. They put out like 2 billion TV spots. I see the thumbnails, even if I don't watch the spots. I saw the thumbnail of the Bumblebee car, and I'm like, oh, there's going to be a Bumblebee joke, because I could see it in the thumbnail. So that was a little bit spoiled for me, but I was still very excited when it happened. And they actually referenced Bumblebee. So I was like, oh, no, I want to see a crossover.
And I'm just thinking, speaking of shout-outs to things and cross-promotions and whatnot, Krispy Kreme.
I don't know how we almost forgot to talk about this.
So Krispy Kreme is apparently the source of life, at least in Angel Grove, because the life-giving crystal for the planet resides underneath the Krispy Kreme building.
Yeah, and Krispy Kreme gets a lot of product placement in this.
Yes.
But like not all through the movie. It's really like halfway or last third, and then it's like just Krispy Kreme this, Krispy Kreme that, Krispy Kreme this. But it's
like,
really
how
funny.
much money did they get paid for?
Yeah, but it's really funny too because they actually like this is the shot again. Everybody died laughing. Rita's just in there looking at what a donut is and starts to taste a donut as Goldar just busts in behind her, his hand.
She doesn't even flinch.
No, not even flinching. But that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of scary.
The thing is, I think it's just like, I don't know if Goldar is a sentience of itself or basically she just has control over Gold to the point where she knows exactly what her thing's doing at any given time. So
I don't know. It kind of looked like he had a certain level of sentience to me, but I mean that is debatable, I suppose. So,
yeah.
And apparently forming the Megazord was not something the Rangers had ever really done before because Rita was like, "What?"
Yeah, because I kept waiting for like Alpha or Zordon to come over the comms going, okay, guys.
Oh, by the way,
there's this other thing that you guys can do with your Zords.
Just in, you can form your things into a giant robot, and yes, I don't know, but that was pretty cool.
Comms.
I know, and the Zord thing was cool. I like the handles on the Zords too.
So
that they would just come out like little Wii remotes.
So apparently having them all shoved into the pit with the crystal of life thing was enough to metamorph their things into a giant Megazord.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool,
Mama
man.
Zord.
Mama Zord.
I just want to call it Mama Zord now.
I know, and then the other great line at the end too. Yippee-ki-yay, mother! Nope. Mother's fine. Mother's good. Again, Billy. One other thing, we'll wrap this up. We wanted to talk about Kimberly's backstory.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of wow. Okay.
It's very much of the time, actually.
Yeah.
So Kimberly's in detention, and you don't find out why for the longest time. It's because one of her friends on the cheerleading force took a very naughty picture.
Yeah, they don't show it to you, but they make it pretty clear, like she's doing something like extremely sexual.
It's like, is that from Penthouse or something?
Right.
Yeah. Not Playboy, Penthouse.
Yeah. Maybe Hustler.
And for some reason, she sent it to Kimberly. I'm like, fuck, girlfriend, why you send those pictures to Kimberly? And Kimberly, she did something to piss off Kimberly.
So Kimberly shows it to the girl's boyfriend.
And somehow he says something to her, and she just punches him. This causes the principal to get involved, and which means this picture gets shown to him, and then they have to bring in the girl's parents, and
she talks about the dad having to see the dad's face when he has to see the photo of his daughter doing whatever she's doing.
So the big takeaway here, people, kids, especially if you're in school, just don't take these pictures.
Yeah. No
matter how much they ask, how much you think it's a good idea, just don't do it.
But yeah. So anyways, that was Power Rangers, man, and it was awesome. I'm very, very pleased to see it. We're both very, very shocked that it's not in 3D because it felt like it was designed to be in 3D and they just did not do a conversion.
Yeah, like especially when Goldar is fighting at the end and he forms a giant sword and it goes through a building. And it's one of those things where it comes like right this way, where it would have been going into your face if it was 3D.
There was a handful of shots like that, and I think it would have been awesome in 3D. So I don't know if we'll ever get a 3D version, but hopefully this thing will make enough money that we will get lots of sequels because I am down.
It will, because it's going to be in China.
I don't know. See, I've started. Well, okay, maybe the China thing. I was thinking
because
domestically.
Because one of the producers was China.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm just saying domestically, I don't know how well it'll perform, but you're right. That should hopefully save it to get us a sequel. So, Fingers crossed. But anyways, guys, that's what we think. We loved it.
Besides, Black Ranger is Chinese.
I know. I get it. They did all the. Anyways, I'm trying to get out of here.
Are we trying to get out here?
Yes.
Is that what we're
This is not a live stream. I can actually quit these really easily. But comment away, guys. Let us know. Did you see it? What did you think? What's your favorite moment? Who's your favorite character? What would you like to see in a sequel? All those kind of things. Just geek out with us. Comment away. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this because I'm all about it now, and I want to go home and watch some more old Power Rangers and just geek out. Other than that, though, I guess you can click that thumbs up button. Give us a thumb of encouragement because we do love to be encouraged. All right, we're going to get out of here and see some more movies. We'll see you all later.